Are you frugal or are you cheap?
Or a spender?
It's the white time. I'm Amanda.
And I'm Tony.
And we're the white sides.
Today we're going to talk about frugal, cheap, or spender. Which one are you?
Ooh, that lights a fire in people.
So, just a quick few definitions here, just to define exactly what they are.
Frugal.
Frugal.
Definition.
Sparing, no. Sparing or economical with regard to money or food. Cheap. Stingy, miserly, despicable, spending less than necessary. That's cheap. Or a spender. A person who spends, especially one who habitually spends excessively or lavishly, also known as a spendthrift.
That's not me.
Yeah.
I do not spend lavishly all the time.
Okay,
you just got done telling people that we like to go to garage sales. How can that be spending lavishly?
Sometimes.
Yeah, that's right.
So this is off of usnews.com. I thought I'd just go over a couple of these just to kind of redefine exactly what cheap and frugal is. I think everybody knows what a spender is. But what exactly is the difference between cheap and frugal? And which one are you of those two? Number one, cheap and frugal people both love to save money, but frugal people will not do so at the expense of others. Number two, frugality is about accessing the bigger picture and having the patience to cash in on the simple savings strategies. So, for instance, an example, I run, so I'm going to buy new shoes yearly. But they can be an older model, or I can save up to buy those shoes. I don't have to go out and buy it with a credit card until I actually have money, or I can wait for a sale to come along. So that's being frugal. It's being smart with your cash, but it's not being so darn cheap that you buy the stinking cheapest pair of shoes that fall apart and you got to wrap them with duct tape and look like an idiot. That is not me.
You do too. He duct tapes his shoes sometimes. He used to. I don't
think I've ever.
I
done
won't
that.
buy him sale price shoes now.
Yeah, and they're good quality.
Yeah, now they are. But before you used to duct tape them.
Well, and I agree with that. I mean,
and you
your
like
feet
to
are
wear
important.
socks with your holes in them and stuff.
Yeah, if they're little. I mean, if they're not huge, I don't see a problem with that. All right. Number 3 point is cheapness uses price as a bottom line. Frugality uses value as a bottom line. So there's definitely a difference there between value and price.
So how can you correlate these in terms of, because I know that one of the hugest issues in marriages today is financial. And so how can you take these definitions and money types and correlate that to what the Bible would be telling you to do?
Well, the Bible definitely tells us to be wise with our money, to save, for those rainy days, those times where we're really going to need it, to not go out and spend every dime that you have, especially not to get every desire of your heart, because you can easily do that and spend everything that you have and even still be wise about it to a point. But if you spend everything, I mean, that's just foolishness.
That's it? That's all you got?
What do you got?
The Bible also talks about being able to enjoy the pleasures that God gives you, the blessings that He gives you in terms of the money. And I'm not talking about going out and spending everything that you have, but you're definitely, able to enjoy certain pleasures of this world.
Yes, but that goes back to there has to be a balance.
There does have to be a balance, but you forgot that second balance.
No, I didn't forget it. I mean, I said you can go out and spend, but just not everything. You have to be wise about, what am I going to save? What am I going to spend? And that, I think, is where a budget comes in. If you budget a certain amount and say, okay, for this month or this year or whatever, I'm going to spend this amount of money. And when it's done, it's done. And from there, you have to continue saving up for something else that you want.
I believe there's a balance. I believe that's right. But Tony's budget is, $100 for the whole month for 6 kids and 2 adults. Good for you if you can do that, but I haven't been able to do that. So. Well,
and as you can see, it's very difficult, especially in a marriage, to have that balance. You have to talk about that a lot, and it's something that we continue to struggle with, and I think always will to a point.
I agree.
Okay, so getting back to the value versus just price as a bottom line, let's take pizza. We love pizza.
We love pizza.
If you look at pizza from that angle, if you go price, you end up with a cheap, fake piece of crap that's probably flavored with MSG and all kinds of other chemicals. Now, did you get the best value there for your money? No. You got the cheapest pizza you could possibly get because you were cheap. Now, looking at the value side, it's going to be...
Some people like that kind.
Yeah, that's because they're accustomed to the MSG and the other just junk that's in it. But
that's their choice.
But it's if you look at the value side of it, you're going to pay a little bit more for that pizza, but it's going to be of value. It's going to have real cheese. It's not going to be flavored with junk. It's going to be, fresh ingredients that actually
Some people can
create
afford
the flavor.
That.
Well, I guess to them, I would say, can you afford a big hospital bill because you're tearing down your health, eating all that junk.
So you're telling people that if they don't have the money to be able to get a more expensive pizza, they need to suck it up and just buy it anyways. Might as well put it on credit, right?
I'm not talking go out and get a lobster caviar pizza for $100. I'm talking a difference of, spend $10 to get a quality pizza versus a cheap, even smaller pizza for $5. It doesn't make sense.
Spend $5 on these strawberries because they're organic, even though you don't have the money to buy the $2 ones that are non-organic. Spend the extra money so that you can be able to
if it comes down to you can't
sick.
No, if it comes down to you can't afford it, then you save your money, you buy rice or something, and
I think it's up to people what they want to do. It's not up to us to tell them what to do.
Well, it is, but I'm just saying the difference between value and price is that in value you're going to spend a little bit more, but you're going to get a whole lot more for your money.
You'll get better quality if you can go to that step.
Yeah, you won't always get quantity, but you're going to get quality every time if you look at value. And that's the difference between cheapness and being frugal, is you look at the value, the bottom line of value, versus just ultimate cheapest bottom line that you can go. Because there's always...
have come a long ways, because that's where you used to be.
Yeah.
Always cheap.
I would always look at the bottom line of price, and that was it. And, I mean, there's so many items out there, so many manufacturers that are always going to go for those cheap people, and it's just going to be this utter piece of junk. And to me, that's, most of the time is not worth it. I try to put the value in line to look at, okay, here's what's important. Do I need these features? You can go the other spectrum and pay oodles of money for something that's hyped up and doesn't have that value. Again, you have to look at the value. So there's some other examples here, and you can definitely go to usnews.com and check out more if you're interested. But with our remaining time, I thought we'd like to do a cheap test, a frugal versus cheap test. All right, so you guys can do this too. For each question, give yourself 1 point for any number 1 answer. If you pick number 1, give yourself 1 point. If you pick number 2, give yourself 2 points. 3 is 3 points, and so on. Number 1, do you eat out, not counting lunches at work. Number 1, all the time. Number 2, 2 to 3 times a week. 3, 2 to 3 times a month. 4, never.
Are you going to be keeping track of these points?
I will add your points for you.
I'm going to say 3.
2 to 3 times a month.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it all
Probably
depends
agree with
though.
that. And
Because, you know, if you're out of town or you're
yeah, if you're traveling
vacationing or something.
or like us, we work a lot.
Yeah. But no, even I'm talking about if we go out of town or, you know, we're with other people, we tend to go out a lot more than we do when we're here.
Well, some people would say that's no excuse. All right, number 2. When you eat out, do you, 1, I order whatever I crave. 2, order an entree for each person and take leftover to go. 3, share our meals to save some money. Or 4, I don't eat out.
I would say 2.
Okay.
I do
yeah,
2.
I think 2.
Is
All
that
right.
what you're doing, or are you just saying that, yes, that's what I do?
I would probably agree. I'm taking it as a whole, as our family, what we do. All right, what do you drive? The latest and greatest 2 years lease can buy. That's number 1. Number 2, I buy a new car every few years. Number
That would
3,
be nice.
I always buy used cars. Number 4, I don't own a car.
3.
3,
Yeah,
always buy used cars. Yeah.
we do.
We had originally bought a new car, but that was a mistake.
Never again. Waste of money.
Yeah, it is a huge waste. All right, number 4. What kind of TV do you have? 1080 HD TV, of course. It's number 1. Number 2, a flat screen TV, but not the latest and greatest. Number 3, I still have one I bought 10 years ago. Number 4, I don't have a TV.
2.
Yeah. And I mean, number 1's a little misleading. I think this is a little bit dated. I would say
The 3D
number 1.
TVs.
Number 1 is more of a 3D, but also the 4K TVs that are higher definition than 1080. I think everything today is pretty much 1080.
Okay.
And so I would say number 2 would be, you know, a 1080 flat screen TV, but it's not the latest and greatest, and that definitely would be the category we'd be in. I mean, we've got one, but we don't care about having the latest and greatest. All right, number 5, what cable satellite packages do you have? Number 1, premium channel with everything under the sun. Number 2, just the basic channel so I can watch the news. Number 3, whatever I get with the rabbit ears. Number 4, I don't have a TV. I would say number 2, the basic channels.
We do not have the basic channels.
Well, we
have
do
a Roku.
We do Roku, and we pay for Netflix, and we watch a lot of stuff through YouTube as well. So I would say that kind of lumps under the basic areas. We pay for a little bit, but not very much.
All right.
Because number 3 was whatever I get with rabbit ears. That's paying nothing.
Well, you have to, you pay for the rabbit ears.
Yeah, one-time fee, but not a monthly
Well,
fee.
that's what the Roku is, a one-time fee.
All right, I'm going to number 2. Number 6, what... You have some old clothes. Number 1, what are you talking about? I don't have old clothes. Number 2, I donate them when they get a little older. Number 3, I turn them into rags. Number 4, I'm still wearing them. What do you do with your old clothes?
I have some that are older
Let's see.
that I wear, but then I also have some that I've given.
I think they're talking about, I'm still wearing them. They're like really old.
I have some
I would
clothes
say
from
number
high
3,
school.
we turn them into rags, or at least I do.
I don't.
Okay, so we going with 3 or 4 or 2?
Whatever you want.
I'm gonna say 3 because I turn them into rags at least. All right, number 7. When you buy something, do you 1, I buy what I want whenever I want. Number 2, I occasionally splurge on what I want. Number 3, I only buy what I need, clip coupons, use discount cards, etc. Or number 4, I avoid making any kind of purchases.
This one's not really fair.
Why?
Are you answering as a whole family, or are you answering for yourself?
I think mainly let's do you.
Okay, well,
Just
you
see
throw
where
out
you're
your
at.
answer first, and then I'll tell you my answer.
Well, I think 3. I mean, we look for sales, we look for discounts, sometimes use coupons if we can find them.
Oh, I thought you would pick number 4.
I avoid any kind of purchases.
Yeah.
No, I mean, we make purchases.
No, I make the purchases, and then he just yells at me
Well,
for them.
no, you're the deal finder. We're 2?
Uh-huh.
I occasionally splurge on what I want.
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
I mean, we use coupons when we can get them, but we don't get the paper or anything. And
All right, we got to hurry this along. So 8, when you receive gifts, do you 1, take them back to the store to trade up? 2, I keep all my gifts. 3, I may return or re-gift some of them. 4, I sell them on eBay for cash.
who are these gifts from?
Doesn't matter. When you receive gifts, any kind of gifts. I would say outside of the family.
Okay, because I really don't get gifts from you.
Okay. Just what do you do with gifts?
I keep them. I'm number 1.
You're number 1. That would be I take them back to the store and trade them up.
Okay, no, not that one.
Number 2.
I keep them.
I keep all my gifts.
Yes.
Okay. Number 9. When you buy clothes, do you 1, I always shop brand names. 2, I usually buy when they are on sale. 3, I usually shop at Goodwill and thrift stores. 4, I ask my friends and family for hand-me-downs.
I probably do number 2, but I wait for big sales.
I usually buy them when they're on sale. Okay.
I mean, but if I find them at garage sales, I'll buy them at garage sales. I have no problem with that. Or if hand-me-downs, I'll take that too. But a lot of people don't have too many hand-me-downs. I mean, we've gotten a couple of hand-me-downs for a couple of the kids, but not hardly any at all.
All right, we'll go 2. And last, number 10. Regarding your lunches, do you 1, I always go out to the local restaurants. 2, I mostly eat low-cost takeout lunches. 3, I occasionally pack my own lunch. 4, I always pack my own lunch.
4.
4, you always pack your own lunch?
Yeah. Well, it's kind of not fair for us because we own a pizza place, and so lunch is already there and provided for us if we want
but
it.
occasionally it goes back to, I think, number 1 of where do you eat out? I would say almost a 3. We occasionally pack our own lunches.
No,
You'd go 4?
because for the majority of the time we pack our own lunches. We only go out to eat probably 2 times a month.
All right, so let's add up your score here.
My score. This is our score. We can consider this our score.
All right, you got a 25. That puts you in
Tell us what that means,
your
Tony.
frugal, good job category.
Ooh.
So here's the final scores. 10 to 15 points. There are a lot of opportunities for you to save money. If you got 16 to 24 points, you're not frugal, but you appear to be reasonable with your spending habits. In the category we got 25 to 34, so you just made it into this category. You're frugal, good job. And then you are on the border of, and this was 35 plus category, you're definitely cheap. So you're almost teetering on that cheap.
No, Tony almost is cheap. No, Tony is cheap.
These are pretty much your answers, so you're
I think that
cheap.
you
I think some of
decided
my
to list a
cheapness
couple of them.
is rubbing off on you.
I think some of it is,
Yeah.
yes. I used to be a spender and now I'm more frugal, but you're still cheap.
So, are you cheap, frugal, or a spender? Let us know. I think we're out of time. This has been The White Sides for It's the Right Time. I'm Tony.
And I'm Amanda, and you can always visit my blog at mandyscorner.com to gain more insight into me and
It's got
what
all
makes
kinds
our
of posts
family
on there.
works.
Great reading times. Check it out,
Yeah, it's awesome.
and we'll see you next time.
Are you ready? Is it recording yet? Should I fix my hair? Get hair and makeup over here.
Maybe.
Yeah. You never know. They like. Does my hair look fine?
Actually, no. We're just going to go right into
Are you ready? Well, you have to play it.
It's been recorded.
Unbelievable.